Hi, I'm Mike from GuitarAssembly, and in this video I'm going to show you how to draw on your neck onto your neck blank and set it out ready for building your neck. Please check out some of the other videos that I've been doing and like and subscribe. Okay, so this is the neck blank. Maple, everything you're going to need for this: pencil, dividers. I use this centre finder ruler that I get from Axminster. It's priceless tool, really is. You're going to need your truss rod, fret ruler, which I use for fret slotting, but I also use it to kind of mark out fret positions on the neck, so I know where I'm going with that, and then just a 1 meter ruler. So we're going to start with marking on a center line onto this. So measuring across, what we're going to do is basically work out where your last fret is going. This neck is going to be 24 frets. So I'm going to place the last fret at the end here. Now, because I'm just going to have a little bit of overhang on there. So 24 frets going to sit here. So we're going to nut. Is there, and then we're also going to mark 12. These markings, this is just going to be a rough guide. Obviously the fretboard will determine the final position. The other thing you'll need is a square of some description. So and then the 24th fret, like I said before, is going to be the end of this board. Okay, so I recommend writing what each is, so you know. Okay, now we're going to draw the taper of the neck on. So mine is 56 mil, this side of the line. So divide them into two and then just mark. There's a great thing about this centre finder ruler. Line up there, 28, and then we're going to do that same at the nut. Okay, now grab your meter ruler. And we're going to join those. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue the taper along to the end of the neck, okay? And you'll find out why later. So the neck taper is on, and now you can mark out truss rod position. I always set the truss rod so the top of it sits in line with the front of the nut. And I'll just mark off back edge here. Truss rod. Okay. Right. So now we're going to start putting our machine head positions on here, and this is where you need to kind of think about what you're doing to get your positions right. So your low E position, machine head position, sits on the taper of the neck. You see this neck, if you measure from the front of the nut slot to the centre of your first machine head, it's around 42 mil. There, you can always measure off of other guitars to get your position correct. So we're going to measure 42 from your scale length line, your nut line, whatever you want to call it. You're going to mark that position there. So that's position 1. So now what we're going to do, we're going to find your high E now. And the way I do that is measuring, so continuing on this, the taper of this line here, measuring 6 mil up, and then another point here, 6 mil up, and join in that line. So we've got another line that we've got here that runs 6 mil above that neck taper. So the machine heads I'm using are just a standard modern machine head, and the spacing that I'm using between them is 25 mil. So for example, on this headstock, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So 25 times 5 is 125. So with your dividers, go up to 125. First position, your low E. And what you're going to do is you're just going to scan over, and wherever this touches that new line you put in, so that's your high E and that's your low E. So we'll mark that there. And then draw a line between your high E and your low E, and that gives you the angle of your machine heads as well. And then with the dividers, we're going to take that back down to 25. So you can, at this point, you can either obviously put your ruler on here, 125, and then just mark out 25 mil increments. Or with your dividers, set that to 25, 2, 3, 6. You can do it this way, or you can just measure it out with that, with your ruler. There. So that is the positions for your machine heads there now. That's based on the machine heads that I'm using. So if you're using vintage, generally you'll be able to find out what the spacing is between each machine head, and just follow exactly the same process, but with the measurements for, or the spacing for that particular machine head. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the top part of the machine head here. So again, the machine heads I'm using allows, I want a clearance of around 15 mil. So I want the top of the headstock, I want it to be 15 mil from the center of the machine head hole. So I'm just going to mark 15 mil from there, 15 mil from your last one. Join those up. Exaggerate those lines. So now you can see your machine head holes positions. This is the top of your headstock, this line here, and then you can basically design from that stage. You can start designing what you want on the headstock. If you're using a Fender template or any other styles, you know, you can slam it on here, line the top of that template up with that, and then start drawing around stuff. So this basically is your design area. You can go crazy, do exactly what you want. Okay, so now I'm going to start marking the sides, because this is 30mm thick, way too thick for what I want it for. I'm taking it to 20mm. 20mm thickness from there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move these lines the fret lines. So this is the 12th fret. I'm just going to place that there. So I know now, there's my nut. That's my 12th fret, 24th at the end. My neck pocket is 75mm. So I'm going to start making some points on here. So that's 75mm. Then I'm going to be doing a carve up on the back, like on the neck, so like fading into the neck pocket. So obviously I will not be carving any of this section here. So I'm going to make a mark 100mm. Also going to make a mark on here up for the first fret. So we want it 20mm thick. So first fret on this model, I'm going for 15mm. And then at the 12th fret, I want it 18mm. Now I'm going to draw a line between the first and 12th. We're just going to blend that up from here. I am going to be doing more videos on this build as well, so you'll see me kind of how this neck progresses, and hopefully it will make sense. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm doing on the side. Okay, so last on here, so this is nut, so now we need to make a mark for the nut itself. So around 3mm. So there's your nut. And then we're going to make a mark. Generally, I go for about 5mm from there. So this one here just gives a little bit of space. I always go a little bit larger, and then when it comes to shaping the fretboard into the headstock, you can come back a little bit, but always have quite a bit of clearance there. So essentially that is it. So we've marked on the side the thickness, plotted out where the truss rods go in, your 12th fret, your last fret, your nut. Next stage will be to route out the truss rod. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and it made some sense. If you've got any questions, please just leave a comment, and please check out all of my other videos, and I will continue doing videos on this particular neck that I'm doing, and you'll be able to track its progression. So I hope you enjoyed, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.